Hello everyone, End of Your Films here, and today we will be taking a look at two of my custom Thomas models, I suppose. And those two are my custom RWS Thomas and my custom TVs Thomas. We're going to be doing something unconventional today, and we will be talking about both of them. Woo! So anyway, I think we're going to talk about them separately, but they both share like the same faces and stuff, and I'm already rambling and getting off the track. So we're going to be looking at the RWS Thomas first, because he was kind of like the one that I started first. So yeah, let's just begin talking about this guy. So a little bit closer up now. Here he is. This is my new RWS Thomas. You might remember the old one, which appeared in the Thomas and the Trucks video. And this is the same model. It's at least made from the same Hornby Thomas, which I got when I was 10 years old. So this is a pretty old model actually. And yeah, he still lives somehow. So anyway, let's just start. So here he is. He uses a TVS face currently. And he has the same modifications as the old one had, with the straighten out back and the dip in the front, which he still has. So I don't know exactly where to begin with this one, so let's just start at the front here. So the buffer beam is actually new to this model. I actually cut off the old buffer beam because it looked ugly. And this one actually has a hook, it actually has rivets and stuff, so this buffer beam looks way better than the old one. I still have to add this little brake pipe thing that I haven't added already, because I've been busy and I just want to make this video now. So he's technically unfinished. He still needs his brake pipe on the front and the back, but otherwise, yeah. So he has a new buffer beam, a black running board, which I really like. I like the black running board. The old one didn't have a black running board, but I want to have a black running board to be more RWS-like. So that's the whole point with this Thomas. He's the RWS Thomas. So thankfully, these faces are made to fit on the Bachmann Thomas model, or at least the TVS model. They're scaled to fit with them. But because of that, because the Hornby Thomas has a bigger smoke box, it actually looks like it has a smoke box ring, and I really like that. It looks cool. So anyway, the funnel, the old funnel was absolutely garbage. It was made from clay. This is not. This is another funnel. It came from like a Ginty model that I cut off and just glued on. It doesn't look perfect, but hey, it's better than having it be made out of clay. So that's something, I suppose. And then we have the lamp, which is a Bachmann Thomas lamp, because I couldn't find anything else, and I just covered it in black paint. It doesn't look the best, but I'll live with it, I suppose. So anyway, then we get the splashers. I only added one red stripe instead of like the usual like curved and straight line stripe. This only has like the curve, the moon on both sides. And we have the top of the tanks. I filled in these parts black to represent like water spillage or like dirty water and stuff. I don't actually know. I've seen a lot of people use this on their Thomas models, and I just thought it looked cool. It added another, like, it broke up the blue a little bit and didn't make him like overly blue, which I kind of like. I kind of like it. Adds like a little bit more dark colors and stuff. Speaking of colors, the blue is a little bit darker than the color I used on my old model. Like the old model was more like this blue, like this like baby blue, and doesn't really look at RWS like. I mean, it does in the early illustrations, but I wanted to make something that was a little bit more realistic, so that is why I opted to make this, and I chose a little bit of a darker blue. I honestly really like it. I like the blue that I chose. Now as for the lining is just done by hand, and it doesn't look the best. You can clearly tell that this was done by hand, but like, it's fine. Then we have like the builder's plate and the number one. The number one, like my wooden railway models, it's just like a paper sticker, like paper just glued on. And we have the cab. We have like what I like to call the brass rings around the cab windows. He has his safety valves, which I have to like actually drill into the body mold to fit them in. Why won't the camera focus? Camera. That's good enough, I suppose. He has the whistle. It's a nice classic Thomas whistle. He doesn't have the yellow lining around his cab. Instead, it's red. I just think I like the red more. A little bit of paint on the side rods. That's not good. It's fine. He still runs. He has the blue step ladders, which are from the Ginty model. A lot of the parts on this are actually from a Ginty camera. There you go. A lot of the parts from this are actually from the Ginty model, like the whistle, the safety valves, the steps, the funnel. A lot of them are from the Ginty, like I've already said a billion times. The buffer beam is actually from my old Edward model, so he's currently missing his buffer beam, so that's kind of sad. Then we move on to the back, which is pretty plain, no painted windows, only some weathering, and the original buffer beam, which looks like shite. But it's fine. And then we've got the bunker lining, which looks meh. No bunker lining back here though, because I got kind of bored of doing lining. And yeah, that's basically the RWS Thomas, a little bit of darker paint. And I like him overall, but I think for the future, I think I would rather try and get a 3D printed E2 body shell, because this body shell it's 7 years old. Like, this body shell is 7 years old. I think it's time to get a new one. And like, it has loads of layers of paint on it. I've tried to sand it down. You can see some of the sanding lines and stuff where I've sanded. It's not the best, but hey, it'll do. I like him. Anyway, enough about that Thomas. Let's move on to this Thomas, which is the more TVs Thomas, and we're not going to do any cutting here. He has a confused face currently. If the camera would focus. There we go. The faces are printed in PLA plastic. I definitely think I should print them in resin instead. I think that would look way better. And actually, this whole body shell should have been printed in resin. It's actually printed in the PLA pressed plastic, so could have been a lot better. Why? Camera, come on, buddy, come on. So anyway, he uses the Bachmann Thomas chassis without the motor because I broke the motor. And so I'm eagerly waiting for a new Bachmann Thomas to arrive so I can. Camera, please work with me here. So I'm eagerly waiting for a new Bachmann Thomas to arrive so I can, because the last one kinda, the last one didn't really survive. So anyway, speaking of the Ginty, which I use a lot of the parts for that, the buffer beam here, because the print didn't come with a good buffer beam, the buffer beam here is actually the Ginty's buffer beam, just cut and added the Bachmann Thomas coupling, and this brake pipe is also from the Edward model. I took the brake pipe from the Edward model and put it on this. And I did that because it looks like the Pilot. It kind of looks like the Pilot brake pipe, and I like that. Originally, this was going to be like a Pilot Thomas. This Thomas has gone through a lot, actually. I'll show up some images of how he looked before. Like, originally, I did the lining completely freehand. It looked like shit. Then I tried to use paper or red tape for the lining, and it looked way too thick. And then I decided, you know what, I'll just mask. I'll try and use masking tape for the lining. And honestly, I'm not the happiest with the lining on this. It's why I've kind of weathered him and stuff. I'm not the happiest with the lining, but it'll do. It'll do. I think... I'm not the happiest with the model. I'm not happiest with this model, actually. I think he looks nice from, like, over here. He looks nice where it's blurry and stuff. But when you get close up and actually look at him, like you get, if the camera would fucking focus, there we go. You get like the close up, you can see the jagged edges and stuff. You can see like chip paint everywhere. You can see the sanding lines. It's like it's not great. It's not the most professional model, and I'm not the happiest with it. But it'll do. But anyway, back to the model. As you can see, I've added this little paint chip right here, which is a funny reference to Season 1, the Season 1 paint chip. So yeah, this is supposed to be kind of like a Season 1-ish Thomas. It includes some pilot details. The running board is The running board is actually a little bit extended because it's originally supposed to like end there, but I added the buffer beam. Camera, please. But I just straight up added the buffer beam just onto the original. Like, I just added it on there, so I kind of extended the buffer beam by like, I don't know, half a centimeter, maybe. Not even that. It's not even a half a centimeter. It's a little bit, like a quarter of a centimeter. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, this is uses. I should probably have told you what this Thomas actually is. It's a 3D printed shell made by jamostrainos. I don't actually know how to pronounce their name, but I'll leave their socials in the link in the description and stuff, so at least they get credit for making this awesome Thomas body. It's just tragic that I have to print it on my trash 3D printer and stuff. And I mean, it looks nice. Oh, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Originally, I actually printed a complete body shell with the wheels and everything and stuff, but it's too small. As you can probably tell, yeah, it's the size. Come on, camera, please. The size is a little bit, it's a little bit small. So that's why I ended up just printing it a little bit bigger, and then I just decided I'll use the Bachmann wheels. I don't care. I don't care. I don't really use my Bachmann Thomas that much anymore. And I mean, I like it anyway. So here we have some reuse of the Bachmann parts. We have the Bachmann cab windows, Bachmann whistle, and another. I added some safety valves here because I just thought you should have safety valves. I know it's TVS and stuff, and it's kind of simplified, but like I want to add details like the brake pipe and the safety valves and make it more like you can actually see them. It doesn't look the best, honestly. I think this gold clashes kind of with this brass work here, so this Thomas really isn't the best. It's kind of like a hodgepodge and kind of like a quickie project I made in like a week, because my old Bachmann Thomas was, well, yeah, that. Anyway, here we come to the back. Here I actually painted the cab windows and I weathered him and stuff. As you can see, he just uses the stock standard, the Bachmann lamp here, and I forgot to add the coupling back here. That's a shame. Anyway, like the other E2 Thomas, he just uses the number 1 here. And yeah, that's basically this TVS Thomas model. Let's just look at them both. These two were made around the same time, and they were kind of made to like contrast each other. Like we have the TVS Thomas and the RWS Thomas. This is why I gave this one a black running board and darker paint, and this one just TVS colors to contrast them more. And while I do like them, I can already tell that like, yeah, I should probably like remake them. And just honestly, I think the best course of action is to just buy a brand new like shell and stuff, because like I said, this shell is 7 years old, and this Thomas printed on a PLA printer, which doesn't give the best results. So while I like them, I'm not sure if they'll appear in any videos. Maybe this one, maybe he'll appear in like, I don't know, a cameo or something in another video. I'm planning on using this guy. You're getting free customs today. This guy will just be painted in some scrap, and he'll become like Reginald or something to those kings. You know the reference that I'm making there. But anyway, that's basically the video I wanted to do. Yeah, that's basically the video that I wanted to do today. Just showcasing these two Thomas models. I like them. They're cool. It's nice to have in the collection. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye!